In addition to all of our canning, we also store a lot of food in our freezers that we've preserved through the year. And I've got Cam with me because we're gonna tag team this tour because I am mainly in charge of growing the vegetables and he takes charge of
the meat.
Of the growing the animals.
Growing the animals that we turn into meat. We like chest freezers because they're difficult to access and it's easy to see if the door's open. If it's been left open by the kids or us. So.
We have 5 chest freezers, one 5 cubic foot, and then the others are 7 cubic feet. The reason we have multiples is for organization purposes. Each of those has a purpose. So one is for vegetables, one is for pork, one is for beef, one is for chicken. Mm-hmm. So, and then we have 2 pork freezers actually. So that's where the rest comes from. The first freezer that we're gonna do is our vegetable freezer. We did a lot of vegetables this year and I'm excited to take everything out and weigh it. I haven't weighed everything yet. We have been eating some, but I do like to make an account of how much. So I'm gonna go ahead and open this up and see what we have. Okay, first thing is our corn. I'm just gonna put it in this and then we're gonna weigh it all. Down in the recesses of the freezer.
Yep, 42.
42. What's this? What is it?
52.6.
Yep, that's right.
Almost 53 pounds.
Okay, so the next thing that we're doing is our green beans, and then we have yellow beans here as well. These are like a wax bean. So I'm just gonna weigh them all as one.
£25. Yeah.
The next one that we're doing is sweet peas. I just have a few of these this year, so we're using our kitchen scale for those. And I actually already used a couple of these because we froze some turkey pot pies just today. So the ones before were 2 pounds, and these are, okay, almost 3 pounds. So 5 pounds of the sweet peas. Next, we have the snap peas that I did really early in the season. I had like a regular green and then sort of like a purple toned one that they all kind of turn green when you cook them. Yeah, I'm on that one.
19 pounds.
A couple things left in this freezer of vegetables, and it really was all vegetables. So last we have some pumpkin puree. These are all from last year's garden.
There's a lot. There's like 15 packages.
And then the last thing here is we like to freeze pesto. So good in the winter. Tastes like summer in winter. So.
Easy for pasta. Super easy.
Mm-hmm.
Pasta plus pesto makes dinner.
So I have 6 of those, and they're like 1 to 2 cups each. And we've eaten some.
1 giant bag of butternut squash soup. We use this to make butternut squash soup. This year we butchered 75 broiler chickens. So of the 75, 25 of them roughly we kept in whole bird form like this, so we can just cook up the whole thing. Heritage ones tend to weigh a little bit less because they are natural, and without too much bad talking, they are not bred to be giant. And then the rest of them, 50 or so, we cut up into the different pieces. So you see this one is 12 legs. And we just kind of portioned them out according to generally like how many our family is going to eat at one time. Yeah, so we're going to go through a count right now. 10, 11.
47 pounds.
Ready?
Yeah.
Okay. Plus 21. So in total right now we have 70 pounds of whole birds. And that is 22 birds. 22 birds themselves, and so that's about 3.5 pounds per bird, if you do that math. We're gonna weigh the wings now. Ready?
Yeah.
Okay. 23 pounds of wings, 29 pounds of legs, Now we're gonna weigh the thighs. Almost 23 pounds. Okay. Now I'm weighing the breasts.
We have chicken tenders, 4 pounds, 15 ounces.
These might be a little harder to see, but these are leftover chicken carcasses from the cuts that we did up, that we just weighed. And so we use these in chicken stock. Becky will usually do a couple of these at a time. Next freezer is our pork. I have a paper that we will link to in the description that I kept much better records on regarding pounds per pig and the different cuts and what you get from the butcher. We raised 3 pigs, we kept 2, and we sold 1 to a family member. So the quantities and weights I'm going to tell you about in here are what is in our freezer from 2 pigs. So we had a few other things in this freezer because we are always looking for space. But anyways, these are just some turkey pot pies that we did after Thanksgiving. Cool. So here on this side is our pork chops, and between the 2 freezers, from the butcher, we got roughly 330 pounds of meat. And so that'll give you a good gauge of, you know, roughly 150 pounds per freezer. And we've obviously started to eat some of this already, but here's pork chops, 73 pounds of that we got from our pigs. Neck bones, not a lot of this, comes like 12 pounds of neck bones and like ribs. We have about 80 pounds of roast between our 2 pigs. This was one of the first things that I smoked after we got the pork, and it was delicious. Okay, next is sausage, and we got roughly 40 pounds of this stuff. Great for breakfast and just whenever. We get it in 1 pound packages, just easier to thaw and use. All of our cured meats, which is the hams and bacons, are out in the other freezer, so we'll go there. Now we're at our cured meat freezer with a couple other things in there. Okay, so here we have some granola bars that Becky made. Just quick grab and go if they need something. They're really good. Next, I have for the roast, we have 2 different kinds of, or 2 different cuts, I guess. We had a friend tell us that of the hams, instead of getting all whole hams, get some of it like sliced. And so that's what this one is sliced hams for like ham steaks, I guess, is what you want to call it. And then this is a whole roast. We just don't do a lot of whole roasts throughout the year, so we opted for fewer of those. We got a few ham hocks for soups and things like that also. What is not in here now that we recently rendered is leaf lard from the pigs. That's phenomenal. Last but not least, the bacon. This is probably our favorite part of the freezer, and we get asked a lot, how much bacon do you get per pig? And so we're gonna go through and weigh that so you guys can see how that breaks down. So after we've weighed everything, again, 45 pounds of bacon, and the cured ham between the steaks and the roast, 82 pounds between 2 pigs again. Here we have a 1-year-old steer that we butchered at 440 pounds. So it was small, but it garnered us about 150 pounds of meat. Of that, like 77 pounds of ground beef, and then the rest of it was your steaks and roast and, you know, rib meat and stuff like that. So in this freezer is mostly beef, but we do have a tray of white-tailed deer, hamburger, and a few deer steaks that we got from a brother-in-law that got a deer on our property. In here we have an assortment of roasts and steaks. Here's a Pikes Peak roast, rib steaks, T-bone steaks. If you've ever been to the butcher, you know you just get a lot of stuff, a lot of different cuts. But then the most of what's in here is ground beef that we have packaged in 1 pound bags. Again, easier to thaw, and if you need 2, you just pull out 2. My hands are cold.